Epilogue. I'm just going to keep on going.
While you can. We'll be on the move again soon.
Is she here?
She's gone. Why didn't you wait for us? No. It will take time for the corruption to spread from the stone.
Unless it was all part of her plan
For a reason.
in the first place.
Yes. Yes, that must be right. Yorin, Donan. We've lost so many to hatred.
No, there's more to this yet.
Can't lose Neyrelle too. Come on.
Why would she have gone to the vaults? Hi.
Will this never end?
Hi, Yosef.
Yosef, what do you want?
Step aside. I'm here for the Haradrim.
Why?
Can it wait? I'm off to bury a friend.
We'll dig his grave for you.
Well, that's kind. But who will dig yours?
Oh.
The Haradrim have used their dark magics
Oh,
to
God.
bear a great evil into our world. Commit their wicked souls to the Father and retrieve the Soul Stone.
Norris is dead, or do they not know? Is she deceiving them?
Yosef. He saved my life in Nevesk.
It's the hatred, though, isn't it?
Not our enemies.
They were fools. I don't have the time for it. I am going to Scotland. Donan deserves to be buried with his son.
That is true.
I thought the dead deserve nothing, while the living are in danger.
Wise words. But I have a promise to keep.
Yeah.
That's why you must ride north, ahead of me. If the cathedral doesn't have her
So
yet...
that's why she ran, because she's being chased by the, by what's left of the Cathedral of
Find her.
Light.
Once you're together, meet me at Donan's estate.
This has taken a very kind of sad ending. Search for Neyrelle at the Haradrim Vault. And I guess this is what... Oh, are they going to get the Soul Stone broken? And that's what's going to cause the Helltides. Is that how this is going to go down? That's not pointing us to the right place, is it?
I know what I saw. She had horns like a beast. Strode right past where you stand.
Okay.
Path of scales. This is what I saw in the reflections. We're close.
Little bit
I
of...
can save you from this, Mother. I promise. I can learn how to... You're going to leave me, aren't you? You'll find a place where I can be taken care of.
What has Neyrelle done? Or what has happened to her?
Expected. But let's not give up hope. I thought you'd know me better by now. I am my mother's daughter. Where there's a lead, there's a way. And I'll follow it to the end.
No sign of her. That letter wasn't here before. She must have left it.
Huh. This is clearly setting up for something. Or at least I think that's what it's doing. It's got that kind of pacing.
Why do I only hear one set of footsteps?
Yeah. What's in the letter? So this is where the fall of the Haradrim comes in from Loroth's narration at the start. They're now being chased.
I spent a lot of time learning this code, so I hope you remember how to read it, Lorath. Because you are the last Haradrim now.
What's she done?
My mother would have wanted me to stay with you. She believed the Haradrim had all the answers. I don't know if she'd recognize this person I'm becoming.
Is she now a Dark Wanderer?
It's hard for me to think about her right now. But then I remember you and Donan. You weren't all-knowing Haradrim.
What is she doing?
You were bitter. You were uncertain. But you were always true friends.
Oh, is she being led somewhere?
That's what I hold on to. Because there is so much further to go.
Yeah, she's becoming the
Your
Dark Wanderer.
imperfection gave me hope. And we will need it to face what comes next. To face him and his brothers.
That's a nicely lit scene.
I don't know how much time I have. But there has to be a better answer. And I have to find it. Alone.
Why?
I know he'll want to go with me. But people have already died because I was not careful enough. I can't risk you too.
And the rain of blood begins. Oh, is she travelling off to another area of the continent so that...
If I've misjudged, the world is going to need you to survive. And clean up the mistakes I leave behind.
Yeah, this will lead to the...
I know you don't want to hear this. But you don't get to quit.
the expansion.
Not again.
Setting up for the next part of the story, I suppose. How long before it corrupts her?
Wish me well, Lorath. Because if everything works out as I am hoping, we will never see each other again.
Huh. Roll credits. Yeah. Yes, definite setup for not a sequel, but for an expansion, another act of story. The question of where she's going and what she is off to do is obviously the main active question here. Other questions include, was that a satisfying ending / epilogue to Diablo 4? It was a much more subdued ending. It's an ending filled with a feeling of not that we haven't achieved anything, because we very clearly have, but a kind of negative anticipation, that sense of dread, I suppose, that only worse things are to come because of the choices that we've quote unquote made here. I would arguably like a little bit more of Noelle's plan. You know, what she's actually doing. Obviously it's been written this way to fuel speculation. And whilst there's not technically anything wrong with that, it could be a little bit too kind of vague, and the danger with there being too much vagary is that it's also anticlimactic. So yeah, in a way, it's a very sad ending. We've dealt with multiple deaths. We've dealt with the abandonment of Noelle, who's the story was full of tragedy, and it is tragedy born from hatred. The very real issues of hatred, and how even the angels weren't immune to it. Inarius's death was deserved for what he did, for his hubris, for his ego. Lilith's plan, on the other hand, did she deserve to die? I mean, she did try and trap us in the mirror because we wouldn't go along with her. The question is, was she right? And I feel like that was done a little bit hand-wavy. It's like, if she'd only said more about what she wanted to do, it wouldn't have felt so unsatisfying, almost, in terms of, well, we've killed Lilith, we've killed the mother of Sanctuary because she was going to destroy her father and take his powers so that he wouldn't wash over the world. And it's like, I feel like I must have missed something as to why Lilith's plan was a bad thing. And yes, okay, she's a demon and she was causing death and she wasn't doing things in the nicest way, but in terms of the greater good, was her... Maybe I'm just reading this wrong. But in terms of, was what she was doing bad based on the details that I can think that we got? It's like, well, no. She she cared about the world. So if she had Mephisto's power, would that change her? Would she then turn on Sanctuary? You know, she wanted an end to the eternal conflicts. Honorius didn't. Honorius wanted back in with the angels. Lilith wanted out. And because we took her out, we don't get to find a way out for ourselves. And that's interesting storytelling, isn't it? That's interesting plotting. That is storytelling that raises questions, but does it raise the questions in the right way? Does it raise the questions simply because there's a detail that I've forgotten, or that there's something that I've misunderstood about character motivations? You know, is it all demons bad, regardless of their intentions and what they intend to do? Is it all demons, all angels? And where is Tyrael? Has he died? Was that a detail? You know, has he died of old age? Because, I mean, he probably would have done by this point. He was mortal. It's been 20 odd years since Diablo 3. And I noticed that the Nephilim just utterly non-existent in the story. Completely written out of the history. No mention of Malthael whatsoever. Again, maybe this is in background information somewhere that I haven't seen, that I didn't read. And I'm sure for many people, the idea that I'm so invested in a story in an ARPG is a bit dumb. But this is not exactly a typical ARPG, is it? It's got more of those story elements and MMO elements. And as a live service game, the thing that is going to be tying it together with expansions and stuff is story. And obviously, you know, new classes and new features and so on and so forth. But it's the story that I'm interested in. And, you know, that's why Diablo 2 was such a disappointment for me, because the story may have been really good, but the gameplay let it down. And I wonder how much longevity the gameplay of this is going to have, because it is a slower experience than Diablo 3. And I wonder how much of a pick up and play experience it's going to have compared to the easily repetitive and repeatable nature of Diablo 3 content. I don't know, because I didn't do a huge number of nightmare dungeons. I did just over 20, I think, nightmare dungeon runs in the endgame beta. And they were fun. But they involve, you know, moving around the world and traveling and so on and so forth. You have to go to them, as opposed to go to the hub, open up a greater rift, or go do some bounties. I don't really know what my point is here. There was some really good stuff in that final act, and yet I've come away feeling just a little bit stumped, I think. I'm not disappointed. I don't think it was bad. I'm not feeling unsatisfied. I just feel like I've got one too many questions, story-wise. And I don't know how long it is going to be until we get to get some Are we going to get resolutions? That is the danger of story. I mean, if there's one thing that World of Warcraft has proven, it's that Blizzard aren't very good at telling stories over multiple patches / expansions. They're not very good at that. The constant escalation of threats in World of Warcraft has been a massive issue with its storytelling for literal years now. The fact that this is live service could technically work to the detriment of the storytelling. You know, when you get to Wrath of the Lich King for World of Warcraft, they'd already used up a huge number of their best villains, because I don't think they realised how successful they were going to be, and they didn't have a long-term plan in that regard. And thus we got, you know, Mists of Pandaria, and we got Warlords of Draenor, where they had to do an alternative history, alternate dimension thing, because otherwise they were going to run out of stuff. With this, having killed off Inarius and Lilith in the game, in the base game, where do they go from this? And is it the fact that we killed Lilith in hell? Is that why she stays dead? Is it that kind of rule set? Because the primevals come back. I suppose Lilith isn't that powerful in comparison. You know, you think of her as the mother of Sanctuary, but she's not like a super powerful demon in the grand scheme of things. She was a renegade. An outcast, essentially, wasn't she? If I remember the lore tidbits from Reaper of Souls correctly. Yes, I'm very torn. I want more. I want more immediately. And essentially that's a good sign. But it's also a sign that maybe the end of the story wasn't quite as complete as it needed to be. Anyway, I'm running out of things to ramble about, I think. I think I've made my thoughts clear. I am satisfied, but would like more, if that makes sense. You know, it's like I've had a really good meal, but I could still go for a second helping of desserts. You know, that kind of feeling. I feel like Inarius's death was a more satisfying death than Lilith's was. I would have liked more from Lilith simply because I felt like she was a more interesting character, and having her killed off now, I kind of feel like it may have been a missed opportunity. Versus Mephisto, who is a villain that we already know, essentially. But I admire the symmetry. You know, they were both victims of their own hatreds, their own desire to take control, their own desire to act within their nature, I suppose. In terms of critique for the game so far, I think I've already made my points on that quite clear. The gems taking up inventory space is a massive issue. The slight lag slash action queuing slash delay in the combat is iffy. I feel the combat itself maybe needs to be a little bit more dynamic in order to truly stay engaging. I don't feel that the bosses have been awful, but they're a bit basic. Lilith was definitely the best of the bunch. But no, I was playing... I played a bit of Lost Ark the other day. They've just released the Slayer in Lost Ark. And there's something about the feel of the combat in that, which is very different from how Diablo 4 is doing it. It feels snappier. And again, I don't know whether that's a latency thing or it's an intentional design choice. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go and have a crack at Diablo 3, having played, however many hours of this that I've played over the last few days since early access started. Be interesting to see the differences. Obviously, I can't play druids in Diablo 3, but yeah, I know people are raving about this. It's got really good reviews. I assume that most of those are going to be based on the story, the level 1 to 50 experience, the start of Endgame, because that's what we're getting into now. We've done the campaign, and the campaign I could have done much quicker if I hadn't, faffed around. Special thanks to Bobby. What's next? Lilith has been defeated, but there is still much to do. Level up to take on new challenges across the continent. Complete Whispers of the Dead, participate in Helltide, and challenge yourself in Nightmare Dungeons to gain valuable items and crafting materials to progress your character. Continue unlocking world tiers to gain access to more features and powerful items. When you are strong enough, face the Echo of Lilith in the final world tier. Interesting. So she's going to be the level 100 capstone boss. Lorath, do you regret what we did? Because I kind of do.
Releasing Mephisto from hell is going to have consequences beyond our current understanding. But that was not my choice to make. It was yours. Whatever the road ahead, I am with you, my friend.
It wasn't my choice.
Both Inarius and Lilith have perished in hell. I couldn't begin to guess what that means for Sanctuary. There's no telling what creatures or phenomena might bleed from hell. Closed gate or no.
Yes.
Something nasty knowing our luck. I just hope you're still with us then.
Are we going to look for Noelle?
I wish we could. She's out there with a prime evil. But we've been instructed not to follow. Wouldn't even know where to start searching if we did.
And we can't use the eye.
So, until we know more, we'll have to wait.
For an expansion!
I can't just sit idly by, waiting for word.
No? Then what are you going to do? Go after her against her will?
No. You're right about Neyrelle, friend. But there's still work to be done in Sanctuary. And I'm going to the Tree of Whispers.
Why would you do that?
It knows things.
We are only ally left. And we may soon need allies more than ever.
Fine. Go see the tree. But be very careful.
Story done. And I hope you have enjoyed the playthrough, reaction, thoughts, especially of the Act 6 stuff, which I feel is the main draw, especially that CGI movie. I'm actually going to put it up onto Veteran and see how bad my build, such as it is, holds up. Because we haven't got any Whisper progress. Thank you very much for sticking with this rather haphazard series. If there's anything else new and interesting that I find, I will be sure to let you know. Until then, Diablo 4. Good story. Not amazing, but certainly good. Ew. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.